What's up, guys? Zenless Zone Gooner here. I just thought I'd break down what I have so far with this model. My previous video, I've only really started, but I made some pretty decent progress since. So let's start what we have so far. It's not done entirely just yet, as you can see, but let's get started anyways. Meanwhile, while other English VTubers are being racist and Dead by Daylight, or just overall bitching on Twitter, I've been in work. I've been in the lab, working on this. As you can see in Procreate, of course I use Procreate to make all my models. This is a lot of files. This is about 45 layers each. As you can see, I wish I could work on one big file, but unfortunately, the limits of an iPad, I had to break it down, which is probably a good thing anyways, since I can just go back, redraw things that do not look right, which I honestly plan to do with the arms. I found a good way to work the arms and elbows in versus the way I've been doing. It works good, especially for this one, since part of her elbows are covered by that black sleeve, and what I have here on this model, it does not work. Okay, never mind these two. These are for like emotes, but everything else, it's all the body. So you can kind of see how I broke it down, slow and steady. There's some parts that I reflected, some I didn't. But besides that, let's get into live 2D and just see what we have so far. Okay, I moved over because I need to shrink down to show things, but as you can see, this is a lot of layers, or a lot of folders in general. I like to keep my stuff organized, so all my textures are in one section. Go ahead. Layers upon layers. Look at that. There's more in those folders, and I like to keep my parameter stuff in, just in case I need to move stuff. I don't have to move my texture with it. I just need to move the parameter. As you can see, we'll start with the head. That's a lot here. Head's pretty basic. I might redo the diagonals in general, but one thing I wanted to focus on specifically was these little details. As you can see, these little shines are its own separate layer. So as I move, the reflection moves. It's mainly on the X. The Y I didn't really see necessary. I may do so with these. I might go back and like draw that in. That should be pretty easy. That's like one little detail I wanted to add, since I don't know, I don't think we really see that much in Zenless. I focus more on the 2D art, by the way. There's a lot of research that went into how it looks. So I based it more so off the 3D model, and I just drew it in the 2D. I know there's a 2D version, like the anime cutscenes in Zenless, but I don't really like how they did the hairline. Anyways, let's go in. Oh yeah, by the way, the eyes. I make sure the eyes look at you, because your eyes naturally do this when you turn. So I implemented that factor in. Get into the Z. Don't worry, I added a little bit of physics, as you can see in that intro. I need to add physics to the pigtails and the bows. Keep in mind, it's not done yet, so let's keep that in mind, by the way. Don't mind the boobs, but one big thing I wanted to do with this model was I wanted to add hip sway. I watched a few videos how to add it. This kind of first attempt, not too bad, but I think my only problem I had was seeing how it looks with like my Y movements. It's decent, I would say, but I think I'm gonna go back eventually and just redo it. Or more so like my Y movements. I feel like I could do a little bit better, especially with the legs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the draw order of the legs when we're turning like this, just to make it look more natural. So as you can see, we have hip sway. It's a physic, by the way. I learned that if you add a little bit of a physic, just change it to a physic, and it looks a little bit more natural, and there's that little bounce to it, as you can see. Might increase the bounce, but I think this is decent so far. While I'm here, I'll show the body movements as well. Okay. Of course, I use physics all around, but I think I'm gonna redo the bang boo, because what I have here for XY movement is the bang boo layers and the bow. They're all in the former. So I'm thinking this time I'm gonna separate it. I thought it looked good, looked decent, but looking at it now, it's like, I'm not happy. I'm very unhappy with that. I didn't forget her necklace, by the way. I made sure, by the way, this little heart piece, it squishes as you go up or down, up and down. And before demonetization, but I'm not demonetized, so it doesn't really matter. This is for education and research purposes. Onto the mouth. Now, I wanted to add a fang. I feel like, you know, like a little skin fang. I feel like that will just give her a bit more personality. It kind of suits her. I drew how I drew the teeth. You see, I have little fangs added, but I want to add like one that's more defined. Sort of like similar to my model. But yeah, mouth's pretty standard. This is how I do my mouth movements. Yeah, pretty standard. It's pretty hard considering like what I want to do, the mouth movements. As you can see as well, the head moves with the mouth, and I try to make it move. The smile, like the cheek spread, you can see a little bit of that. Probably the only time you'll see it. I didn't want it too pronounced because it'll look weird. So you got the mouth X. I haven't decided on V bridger movements yet. I think I'm gonna do that last. The tongue, I fix that. That's how it looks with the mouth open. It looks way better with the mouth open. Put that with the here, and we'll see how it looks with the diagonals. Because I went in and I actually tried to fix. Actually tried to make the mouth like go in with the diagonals. I know it's very little, but it's that little details that count, just to make it look more three-dimensional. This is all work in progress. Again, this is where my people. So it's not final, but we are going to go back and tweak this, or I am. I don't know why I'm saying we. The eyes, not a lot here. I don't really have everything rigged with the eyes. I based this off one of the anime scenes in Zenless. But one thing I want to do is I want to recreate her smirk that she has in her official 2D art. So I curved, when the eye is about to close, I curve it here. But the eyes are not really done at all. But I really like this. I think this came out pretty well. Okay, there we go. This eye's like not really done yet. I was starting on this side. So yeah, there's the eyes. Now let's go on to the physics, because I did some stuff a little bit different. Before I talk about the physics, the eyebrows aren't rigged in yet. I'm trying to figure out what to do, but especially when the eyebrows deform. I don't know if mine are deforming, but we're trying to figure that out, or I am. But here we have our bangs. I made sure to add some flow. So one thing, I added an extra X movement because this area right here, I wanted this to curve outward, like curve outwards more. Right here, it's pretty decent, but I wanted a bit more movement. So what I did, that's an extra movement. It kind of helps. I feel like it gives it a little bit of squash and stretch when I turn. Okay, that should be the Y2. This is the X2. Just have a little bit more bounce. So let's go into the physics setting. I feel like you can see a little bit better there. Okay. So I'm glad I didn't save that last recording because I deleted my side hair physics. It's not as defined, but I think I'm gonna add that X3 for this part of the hair because it's not really as fluid. I'm kind of debating on it, but I do want to add it for the Y because that doesn't look, yeah, that looks But for the bangs, it's more, you can see it here. I'm kind of moving it hard there. Let's move it a little lightly. has that little bounce to it. I wanted to try to emulate some of the physics you see in Zenless itself for the game. But now we have that, let's see how this looks in VTube Studio. So, be right back. Ignoring that I have one eye rigged, we're gonna try not to blink. But yeah, what I'm doing is I'm testing on a webcam first, and if I can get looking decent on a webcam, then I'll go to iPhone. Because I want to make sure it's like available on a device that everybody has, you know, before I do the whole iPhone exclusive stuff. Or just the exclusive stuff in general for like iPhone or Android. Or even vBridger, matter of fact. But here's what it looks like with the webcam testing. Not done entirely, of course, but pretty well done. So all we're gonna get is the hip sway. The hip sway is the physic. I have my body Z is when the body moves over. As far as like the angle, that's its own separate thing. That's the body Z2. But yeah, here we go. I don't have my physics very high in VTube Studio either. I have a just, you know, let's check. Let's actually check that. Go in here. Yeah, okay. Make sure, okay, when you're doing this, as far as like eye open, make sure you change it to whatever number you like. This is the number that works for me since I can't open my eyes that wide. Surprisingly. Play with these, by the way, too. The ISO I have so far is pretty decent, but you're going to want to play with them for your head movements, your head and body movements. So what I'm going to do, try this one. We're going to turn it up for here. Okay, where's body? Where's that? Where are you? There you are. Okay. As you can see, if you play with that, it just slows it down so where it looks like you have more movement. This one seems decent. Let's go into face angle Y. Turn that down. And it's basically X. I need to like recalibrate my camera, so it's doing that. Where you can kind of see it. My body turns slower than my head. If you want to reverse these numbers, you can have it to where your head turns this way and your body goes reverse. But we're looking at physics. Okay, I have it barely above the physics. As far as like wind strike and dragging, do a little bit. We don't want anything too crazy. Around 60, how's this look here? Pretty good. I think 60 is a magic number. I can go 120 if I really wanted to. But no, I think I'm gonna stick at 60. But yeah, this is what we have. This is how it looks in VTube Studio so far. We're gonna go back to Live 2D. What has to be done left is I gotta re-rig the bang boot, add more dimension to the hands. Overall, just physics in general, especially for certain features. The bows, pigtails need physics, belt needs physics, and we're gonna add physics to the belts on the shoes. Don't worry, I'm going completely detailed, and after that, we can work on the extra stuff like emotion toggles. We're gonna add a briefcase, extra hands. I plan to go all out with this model. Wait, I forgot about eyebrows. I'll make sure to do that before I go on to the extra stuff. Because what I have right now is I plan on making sure the main body gets rigged completely with physics and everything. And then afterwards, I'm gonna go in and add the extra toggles. So yeah, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, like, comment below. Do not ask for a download just yet. Once I finish this model and we do the showcase, we'll talk about that. But for now, I will see everybody later and continue working on this. So, bye bye, makone, take care.